I feel like every year in the NBA, we always have these expectations for certain players. Like, there's always some move that you look at and you really get excited for because the fit just seems so perfect. But the only bad part about those expectations is that with those expectations, definitely often comes disappointment. Now, before I get into the players that I feel like are massively underachieving, I want you guys to subscribe to the channel if you're new and turn on post notifications. That's a big help to the channel, so if you do that and like the video, I'll definitely appreciate that. Now, without further ado, let's get into the underachieving players. I feel like Lonzo Ball, he has probably been one of the most sympathetic figures we've ever had in the NBA. Now, what do I mean by that? His story is just kind of so crazy and so bizarre with his dad and his brothers that we often just make all the excuses and all these explanations for his failures, and it's kind of getting out of control now. Obviously, in the beginning, it was a little hard for me to root for Lonzo like I wanted to because his dad was saying so much crazy stuff. It took me a little while to separate Lonzo from LeVar, and now I just judge Lonzo based off of Lonzo's stuff. The whole LA situation with LeVar Ball being right there, Magic Johnson saying Lonzo's gonna break all his records, Magic trading D'Angelo Russell essentially for Lonzo Ball, and D'Angelo eventually becoming an all-star, LeBron coming to LA, that whole situation was a disaster, and I think we all were pretty understanding about that. That's why, at least for me, I was so excited about this new chapter and this new beginning in New Orleans, and I thought he was going to cook, but it really hasn't been like that so far. Lonzo this year, he's been in and out of the starting lineup as of late. If you look at his averages, you literally see no difference in any way. This year, he's shooting less than 40% from the field, which is worse than last year. He's still a below average free throw shooter, especially for his position. And hell, he doesn't even get to the free throw line because he's so non-aggressive. I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think Lonzo is ever going to be what we want him to be until he develops some type of consistent half-court offense. And what I mean by that is, in a half-court setting, he has to be able to score the ball or at least be a threat in any type of way. He has to develop some type of pull-up jump shot, a floater. He has to be a better finisher. All this stuff will open up his passes because in the half-court setting, you essentially can play 4-on-5 because he's that non-aggressive. I'm not saying he has to be Kyrie Irving, break you off the dribble, or Damian Lillard or anything like that. I'm just saying in a half-court setting, he can't be that much of a liability. I said his free throw percentage is so low, but part of that is the fact that he never gets to the line. He shoots one free throw a game. That just can't happen. I don't want to call him a bust because I just hate being that guy. But if you look at his rookie numbers, his sophomore numbers, and his third year numbers this year, they're basically the exact same. If y'all call Andrew Wiggins a bust because his lack of passion and his lack of aggression and all that stuff, you can't give Lonzo Ball a pass because he's basically the exact same guy, just with more tattoos. I watch Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes' podcast all the time, and Steven Jackson always says confidence is everything in the NBA. Once your confidence starts to go away, your game really deteriorates, and I think that's happening with Lonzo Ball. He's in and out of the starting lineup, he might be injured, and I really hope he gets that confidence so he can be who we want him to be, because so far, it's just not happening. Although this wasn't a big move, when Mike Conley joined the Jazz, I really had some high expectations for that team. I think Ricky Rubio was really solid and he did his job, but I thought Mike Conley was a clear upgrade and I thought he can really help Donovan Mitchell. With Mike Conley being a player who could shoot, score, and create for his teammates, I thought, man, this upside was going to be crazy with Bogdanovich, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. I really had some promise for this team, but so far it really hasn't been like that. I don't know if it's the change in scenery, nagging previous injuries, I don't know what it is, but right now he's only averaging 13 points, he's shooting 36% from the field, and the Jazz are 7-3 when he's not playing, so I don't even know how much they need him right now. Honestly, and I hate doing this to Mike Conley because I'm an Ohio State fan, he played for Ohio State basketball, I love their football and basketball team, but if you look at his replacements and who he's replaced, they're both playing better right now. Ricky Rubio, he's never going to wow you statistically and all that stuff, but he's still playing better right now. He's averaging 13 points on better shooting splits and 9 assists, and that's pretty good. Ja Morant in Memphis, I mean, he's just a rookie and he's lighting it up, and he's really gave Memphis that buzz that they needed because they were pretty much getting dry. I really root for Mike Conley, and I want him to win, but that backcourt being as dynamic as I thought, it's really not working out, so I hope something happens. Lauri Markkanen, to me, he was always like that undercover steal for Chicago. He got selected with that pick Chicago got for Jimmy Butler, and I thought he was going to be better than Kristaps Porzingis. I always thought he was going to be better. Like, I always thought Markkanen's body type was way more fit for an NBA season. Porzingis has definitely put on way more muscle now, but before, he was so tall and so lanky, he just looked prone to injury. Markkanen really never had that problem. And honestly, in the past 2 seasons, we've been seeing significant strides from him. With the All-Star game being played in Chicago and being that he plays in Chicago, I thought it was no doubt he'll be playing in the All-Star game next year, but he's not really been looking that good so far. In Markkanen's rookie year, he averaged 15 points. In his sophomore year, he averaged 18. The sky really looked like it was the limit for him, but this year, he's kind of been regressing, and I'm not really sure why. Kobe White, to me, he was a really solid pickup out of North Carolina. Zach LaVine, he's a borderline all-star, especially in the East. And Wendell Carter, all he's doing is improving in just his second year. So for Lauri, you would expect way more. He had a pretty good game Saturday, scoring like 31, but his main problem all year has just been consistency, man. He will score like 20 points, then go back to 9, then go back to 10. He even had a game where he scored like 3. That's been his main problem. He's been very inconsistent. The Bulls this year, they've played 32 games. In 9 of those games, he scored 10 points or less. That can't happen. That's like a third of the season where he's basically underachieving. I don't think he's lost anything or he's overrated, nothing like that. I think he just has to be more aggressive and he has to get that confidence back. Hopefully he can change, man. He has a lot of potential. Now, the last guy on this list, bro, he's probably like the biggest liability in the entire NBA. It's Ben Simmons, man. When I tell you this dude came back the exact same player, that may be even a little bit of an understatement. He may have gotten a little bit worse. No one in this world can deny his talent, his upside, his passing, his size, rebounding, fast break, all that stuff. But let's be real, that stuff is getting old, and if he can't shoot the ball, he's never going to be a star. And I'm not even saying he has to be Kevin Durant or even LeBron. I'm just saying, like, unless the shot clock is going down or he's butthole naked, he is not taking a shot 10 feet away from the basket. And if you think I'm nitpicking or just saying what everybody else says, I got some numbers for y'all to back it up. And don't ask me why they don't equal 100. I got it straight off of Basketball Reference. He's shooting only 34% of his shots from 3 to 10 feet away from the basket. He's shooting only 5% from 10 to 16 feet, and he's shooting only 1% from 16 feet to just inside the three-point line. He's not even attempting to get better. 58% of his shots are from 0 to 3 feet away from the basket, and that went up from last year's 57, so he's getting even worse. He's holding his entire city and team back. A lot of Philly fans want to trade Al Horford already. Joel Embiid, his numbers have come down. All these problems to me directly stems from Ben Simmons not shooting. The floor spacing is terrible. It's no more JJ Redick. They don't really have many shooters. And basically Ben Simmons is a glorified Draymond Green. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, he's way more athletic, but if he's not surrounded by a plethora of shooters, he's really not going to be an all-star, and that's just what it is. So, all the Philly fans, I hate to say it, but that Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid duo, the Magic and Kareem, the modern Magic, and all that stuff, that's never going to work because in a half-court setting, Ben Simmons is useless. Like, he's literally useless, especially with Al Horford on the floor, and it's too clunky, it's too clogged up, and he can't shoot. So, that's going to be a problem. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Ben Simmons and Lonzo, man, they basically have the exact same problem. Ben is more athletic and bigger and faster, so he probably can do a little bit more, but it's basically the same stuff. They have to develop some type of half-court offense, and until they do, they're really not going to be what you want them to be, and that's just that. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Enjoy you guys this Christmas. Do all that great stuff. And until next time, as always, shoot the damn ball, man. Shoot the ball, man. Shoot the ball. But anyway, stay tuned.